guys, it's Nancy, and this is only like my second ever voiceover, and I sped the video up a little. So we have the November 2025 3D embossing folder of the month, which is this mini tufted pattern. And then this video is going to be showcasing the Betterpress of the month, which is called Pause in the City. It has some fun sentiments. For real, you're my fave. Life is better with girlfriends. Charmed to know you. Life's more fun with a little flair. Thanks for showing up and in style. It comes with the girl, the dog, the sentiments, and the dies to cut out the sentiments. We have Glimmer of the Month, and Glimmer of the Month is this beautiful foil, which is blush foil, and you can see this really cool design on the Glimmer of the Month. There are 2 sentiments with dies, and let me see if I can. They say, saw this and thought of you, and here's to another well-styled year. And you get the dies to cut out the sentiments. And last but not least is the wax seal of the month, which is going to have the beautiful coral 4-color wax beads. You get 3 coral colors, which is like a bronze, a coral, and a pink, and then a plain pink in there. So 4 different, you get 100 beads. And the wax seal is a beautiful wax seal. It almost looks like a little toasting glass, I would say. It's called Sin Sin, and it has a bow on it. So I'm just opening that, and I will show you that. And you see it there. And I don't know if I told you the color of the Glimmer of the Month foil this month is blush. My camera, I'm trying a new camera setup, new voiceover setup, trying to get it to autofocus here. But I'll be focusing on the Betterpress of the month and the 3D embossing folder for this club, this video. And then the next video, I will do the wax seal and the Glimmer of the month. So here I just have some Betterpress porcelain paper, which I'm going to cut into 5.5 by 4 1/4 with my guillotine trimmer from Spellbinders. And we're going to use one for our sentiments. There on my lid, I have a piece of sticky grid from Sizzix, which is good for about 5 or 6 uses before it loses its stickiness. But then I don't have to use any tape on my Betterpress. So I'm going to put one sheet down, and you'll notice this is kind of a scratch sheet, and we're going to do the sentiments. The sentiments are all in one sheet, and you'll notice I'm putting them kind of long ways. You don't want to put them horizontally, because if you put them horizontally, it could cause bumps. I'm using Sapphire ink from Betterpress to ink this up. And I'll read to you sentiments again. They say, for real, you're my fave. Charmed to know you. Life is better with girlfriends. Life's more fun with a little flair. And thanks for showing up in style. So I'm going to run that through my Lilac Platinum machine. And there you can see the sentiments. And we'll cut those out at the end. I'm just going to clean that up. I have sped up this video quite a bit, actually, so we'll see how this all turns out. Another piece of that Betterpress cardstock. This is 5.5 by 4 1/4, and we're going to do the image. And this is a layering image, so it does come with a piece of acetate. You can use it with or without the dog. So I'm showing you there that the green border is what you want to line up on the A2. And you want to make sure you can read the words Betterpress, that they're right side up. And I'm just taking some low tack washi tape, and I'm going to tape that grid down. So this way, when we layer the dog on, it will layer it perfectly with her hands to look like she's holding the leash. I'm just placing her right over the lines, and her lines are in red and the dog's lines are in green. I'm using some black ink to ink her up. You can use any inks when you are Betterpressing. So you can use, I've shown Lisa Horton inks, Catherine Pooler inks, Gina K inks, Simon Hurley inks, any inks you want. The smaller ink pads do make it a little easier so that you don't have all kinds of ink transfer on the outside of your image. So if you do get that, you just want to wipe it away with a soft cloth. And voila, you can see how stunning she looks with or without the dog. I said that she looks very French, Parisian. She has a a beret on her head. She's carrying a coffee. She has a striped shirt on. So I do believe she's a little French girl. And then her dog is a little Frenchie. So we're lining him up with the green lines. And I'm using some Thunder Gray ink to ink him up. And there you can see I have some ink transfer on the sides. So I want to make sure I clean that up pretty thoroughly because otherwise when I go to do my Betterpress, there's a chance that some of that ink could transfer onto my paper. So I want to clean the edges up pretty good before I run this through my Betterpress. I'm going to run that through the Platinum again. Pull that out. And there you can see the cute little Frenchie. So now that everybody is pressed out, we're going to do some coloring. And our coloring is going to be with some Zig markers and some watercolor brushes. So I'm just going to move all of these things out of the way. Do I die cut the sentiments here? I might die cut the sentiments here, which is all one piece of the, yeah, I'm going to do the die cutting. So plate A, plate B, I have a scrapbook.com magic matte in pink. I'm going to put our paper down. We're going to put the one piece die over top. And again, I go through and explain you want it to be long ways. You don't want it to be horizontally because it could cause lumps and bumps. And we don't want that. It may not cut properly or Betterpress properly. The other thing you can do here is kind of put it at a little bit of an angle, and that'll help you as well. I'm going to use some of that low tack washi tape again and put it on the outside of my dies here, just to hold everything in place. This is not the magnetic mat. It's just the magic mat, which is basically a self-healing mat. Put my top plate on and run that through. And I put it at a little bit of an angle so it would cut pretty evenly without having any speed bumps, as I call them. And you'll see that everything pops out beautifully once I get the tape off. And then we're going to put all these sentiments inside my little scrapbook.com tray until I'm ready to use them. Oh, now I'm going to grab my markers. And again, these are Zig markers, which are a dye-based or water-based marker. And I'm also going to grab my Spellbinders watercolor markers, which are in there. I believe I start off with the bold, which is kind of too thick. So I move down to the fine. And we are coloring the little Frenchie in mid-gray Zig marker. And I just scribble a little bit on my glass mat. If you want a discount at Glassboard Studios, I will link my friend Tracy's link. I believe that she gives you 15% off. It's 10 or 15% off, but I believe it's 15% off. I did order the new magnetic trays and ink holders from Glassboard Studios. So as soon as those come in, I will do a review video on them. But yes, I did order them, and I did use my friend Tracy's link, so I got a discount on them. So I will post that down below if you are interested in either Glassboard Studios glass mats. They have many different sizes and styles. Or if you're interested in any of the new magnetic mats, magnetic tray, I guess they're called, that they just came out with. So we do have a review video coming as soon as they arrive. Now I'm going to color the girl with her shoes and her shirt and her beret. And I am using the color Dull Blue. So medium gray and dull blue. So again, I did switch over to the fine tip brush, mimic what I did before, which is just put some of that color down on my table, and then picked it up with the watercolor brush and went right to coloring. And this is part of the reason why I sped up the video, because I didn't want everybody to be hanging out for half an hour watching me color, so I sped it up. I believe this is the color Flesh. It's actually called Flesh Color. So I go in with that and I start on my glass mat and start to pick it up, but it is such a light color that it very, very barely transfers. So I end up giving up on doing that and just go straight in with the marker, which doesn't hurt anything. And I said I need to get some more skin toned markers. I think I only have 2, if that. I think I have that one in oatmeal, which is like a tan color. So I just go in and color her directly, which is fine. And then I use a little bit of soft pink. This is called light pink. And I give her a little cheek of light pink. And I do the inside of the puppy's ears. Then I want to do her skirt. So with her skirt, I'm testing out a couple of different pinks, but ultimately I end up with peach pink. And I color in her little, I don't know what you would call that, her scarf, her little scarf. And then I go in with her skirt. And as I'm doing her skirt, I really like this kind of ombre look I'm getting. So you're going to see that I'm going to concentrate a lot more ink on the top. And I'm still using the same color, the peach pink. And I'm going to focus a lot of that at the top and then kind of drag that color down. Now, I don't want to add too much water to this because it's Betterpress paper. It's not watercolor paper. So if you add too much, it can pill up. So I'm trying to be very light at how much water I'm adding. And you'll see every once in a while that I kind of blot it up with a paper towel. And that's because you want that color to be a little lighter or you don't want all that water sitting on there. You can always add more color, but it's hard to take that water out. So have a little piece of paper towel and blot off anywhere that you have excess. And there you can see how beautifully colored everything is. I think I used the dark green on her coffee cup. It is called Olive Green. And I will go back later with that same olive green and I will do grass and I will go in with light blue and do the sky. So here I'm deciding, okay, what do I want to do for the background? And I get out some pink cardstock. I don't know if this pink cardstock is still available at Spellbinders. It's actually the pink sand cardstock. And I cut that down to 5.5 by 4.25. So again, this is A2. And then I cut her down to 5 by 3 3/4. So she's going to be layered inside the card at 5 and 3 3/4, which just fits the card. So that's 3 3/4 there. And now we're going to go to 5 inches here. We're getting our platinum out again because we need to do the 3D embossing folder. And look at how my camera zooms out. This is the reasons why I'm trying to get better filming for you guys. I just got to work on the autofocus. I sprayed a little bit of that pink sand cardstock with the Spellbinders mister and it sprayed it so that way we go through the machine and we have plate A and plate D because this is a 3D embossing folder. So you want plate A and plate D, and there you can see we have that mini tufted look. We're going to move everything out of the way. I do believe my camera stops filming somewhere around here as I'm gluing it together. Oh, I do the coloring. And we're going to cut into a new section here. So we're going to do some coloring, which is basically just some light blue and that same dark green I mentioned earlier. I think it's olive green. And I grabbed the bigger brush this time and I just lightly add some blue sky in the back just to make it look like some clouds. Nice, beautiful day. I'm not real perfect with it. I add different areas of lighter and darker coloring. We're almost to the end here, folks. Thank you guys for watching. If you're interested in more Spellbinders Club videos, make sure you check out my Spellbinders playlist. I also do hot foiling with the Glimmer machine. If you're interested in learning more about that, may also join our Foiling Snobs Club. You can see that down at the bottom there. That is our Facebook group. And we do all kinds of crafting, not just foiling. So any kind of card making, Betterpress, anything you're interested in. We are not owned by a company. We're owned by a group, a Facebook group, which is Foiling Snobs Club. But the founders were me and my friend Tracy. Here I am going through the sentiments and deciding which one I want to do. And I end up with liking For Real, You're My Fave. And it's Fur, F-U-R. And here you guys can see the finished card all put together. I really like how the watercoloring came out. And I just glued it all together. You can see that tufted 3D embossing folder background. And I had a lot of fun using the Betterpress of the month for November 2025, the 3D embossing folder for November 2025. If you are a club member, you do get access to the clubs sooner. If you're not a club member, you want to sign up on the 6th of the month. You also get early access to any other exclusive Spellbinders releases that the public won't get until after the 10th of the month. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Catch you on the next video. Have a great day.